Have you ever noticed how some men slowly destroy their own power without even realizing it? Not through failure, not through weakness, not through lack of effort, but through the words they carelessly speak. They talk too much, defend themselves too quickly, and brag far too often. And every single time they open their mouths, they leak power. You can spot them anywhere you go. Loud, insecure, desperate to sound intelligent, hungry for validation. But a Stoic warrior is completely different. He understands deeply that silence is a powerful strategy. He knows that words, once spoken aloud, can never be taken back, only regretted later. As Epictetus wisely said, it is better to trip with your feet than with your tongue. Because your words don't just describe you, they actually define you. They reveal your character, your discipline, your inner strength, or your lack of it. In this video today, we'll uncover 7 things a foolish man always says, and how to replace each destructive phrase with the calm, disciplined wisdom of a Stoic warrior. If you're ready to choose wisdom over noise, to transform your speech and transform your life, drop a comment below, I choose wisdom. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that button now. This channel delivers your daily dose of Stoic strength. Let's begin. Thing 1. I already know that. The foolish man's absolute favorite phrase. 3 simple words that sound confident, but rot the mind from deep within. I already know that. He says it with pride, with arrogance even, as if knowing something were the same as living it wisely. But the truth is, he doesn't really know. He only remembers a fragment of something he once heard, something that made him feel clever briefly, feel superior momentarily. And now he clings to that tiny fragment like protective armor, because admitting ignorance feels like weakness to him. He would rather look smart temporarily than actually become smart. So he keeps defending what he thinks he knows, while the entire world keeps changing around him, while opportunities pass him by, while wisdom slips through his fingers. The Stoics would observe this man carefully and see not strength, but deep fear. The fear of becoming a student again, the fear of admitting he might be wrong, the fear of looking foolish in front of others. Epictetus once said, "You cannot learn what you think you already know." That powerful line should echo loudly in the mind of every man who's ever closed himself off from growth. Think about that. If your mind is full, if you believe you already know everything, there's no room for new wisdom, no space for growth, no possibility for transformation. The Stoics never worshiped knowledge like a trophy to be displayed. They trained it like a muscle that needs constant work. To them, wisdom wasn't something to show off. It was something to strengthen daily, to refine constantly, to embody completely. And muscles atrophy quickly when they're not used. A wise man doesn't walk into a room thinking to himself, I already know everything here. He walks in asking, what can I see here that I've missed before? What can I learn from this person? What wisdom am I blind to? He observes carefully before he speaks. He listens intently before he argues. He studies not to prove others wrong, but to strengthen his own clarity, to deepen his own understanding, to expand his own perspective. Because real intelligence isn't about having all the answers ready. It's about never losing the hunger for better questions, deeper insights, truer understanding. Modern men today confuse information with true understanding. We scroll endlessly through motivational videos, podcasts, and books, and call that wisdom. We collect quotes like trading cards and feel accomplished. But reading about discipline isn't actually discipline. Talking about strength isn't real strength. Knowing the theory of courage isn't being courageous. Knowledge without embodiment is just noise in disguise. It's mental clutter pretending to be wisdom. The Stoic warrior knows that until truth becomes daily habit, until wisdom shapes your actual behavior, it's still just theory, just empty words, just intellectual decoration. So the next time you're tempted to say, "I already know that," stop yourself immediately. Pause and ask instead, do I truly live that? Do I wake up early like Marcus Aurelius taught? Or do I just quote him to sound profound at dinner parties? Do I practice stillness when someone insults me? Or do I just nod at the idea while my blood boils? Do I control my anger in traffic, or do I just know I should? Do I forgive quickly, or do I just understand the concept? That's where the line is clearly drawn between men who know and men who grow. The fool treats knowledge as a protective shield to hide behind. The Stoic uses it as a sharpened sword to cut through illusion. One hides behind it, the other sharpens it every single day through practice, through failure, through honest self-examination. The fool says, "I already know," to end the conversation, to protect his ego, to avoid the discomfort of learning. The Stoic says, "Tell me more," to expand the conversation, to challenge his assumptions, to discover what he's missing. That's why one remains small, defensive, and easily offended, trapped in the prison of his own arrogance, while the other becomes vast, unshakable, and endlessly evolving, free in the vastness of perpetual growth. So kill your arrogance today. Strip your mind bare. Admit how little you truly know, because that's the moment your mind becomes infinite again. That's when real learning can finally begin. That's when wisdom can enter. In a world where everyone pretends to be an expert, where everyone has an opinion on everything, where confidence is mistaken for competence, the wisest man you'll ever meet is the one who still calls himself a student, who still asks questions, who still admits when he doesn't know. This is the man who reads the same book twice and finds new wisdom. This is the man who listens more than he speaks. This is the man who says, "I don't understand, explain it again," without shame, because he knows that every master was once a beginner. Every expert was once confused. Every wise man was once ignorant. The difference is they never stopped learning. They never closed their minds. They never said, "I already know enough." Thing two, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. The desperate cry of the weak. The anthem of the man who hands his power to everyone but himself. Every time he speaks those words, he becomes smaller, weaker, more powerless. He blames the world, his difficult past, his boss, his parents, his bad luck, the economy, the government, his circumstances, anything and everything except himself. It's the language of a man who wants sympathy instead of strength, comfort instead of growth, excuses instead of results. And yet the world owes him nothing. Life doesn't stop to comfort him. Reality doesn't care about his excuses. The Stoics understood this centuries ago. Every time you say, "It's not my fault," you're building a cage, one made of excuses, locked from the inside, and you're the only one with the key, because if it's never your fault, then it can never be your responsibility. And if it's never your responsibility, it will never be your victory, your achievement, your transformation. Epictetus said clearly, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that truly matters." Those words weren't just philosophy for intellectual discussion, they were survival. They were the difference between freedom and slavery, between strength and weakness, between living and merely existing. The man who takes full responsibility becomes invincible. because he stops waiting for fairness. He accepts the brutal truth that life doesn't care. Some people will betray you. Life will be unfair. Storms will come without warning. Disasters will strike the innocent. But your response is your weapon. Your reaction is your power. Your choice is your freedom. The fool blames the wind for his shipwreck. The Stoic learns how to sail in any weather. The fool curses the rain for ruining his day. The Stoic builds shelter and prepares for storms. The fool waits for the world to be kind, to be fair, to give him what he deserves. The Stoic trains himself to be strong, to be capable, to create his own opportunities. Responsibility is the highest form of freedom. When you stop pointing fingers, when you stop blaming others, you finally have both hands free to build your life, to create your future, to shape your destiny. Blame feels good temporarily. It gives temporary relief like scratching a wound that never heals. It's a drug that numbs the pain, but solves nothing. It's easier to say, "My ex ruined me," than to admit I ignored red flags. I chose poorly, I stayed too long. Easier to say, "My boss hates me," than to face I stopped giving my best. I became complacent. I stopped growing. Easier to say I had bad luck than to admit I didn't prepare, I didn't work hard enough, I didn't persist. But that relief costs you your power. Every excuse weakens you. The more you blame, the weaker you become. The more you point fingers, the less control you have. The Stoics saw responsibility not as guilt, not as shame, but as ownership, as power, as freedom. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the Roman Empire, wrote every single night about his own failures, his own shortcomings, his own mistakes. Not to shame himself, not to wallow in guilt, but to train himself, to improve himself, to become better tomorrow than he was today. Because the man who says, "It's my fault," is the man who can also say, "I can fix it. I can learn from it. I can grow from it. I can prevent it next time." And that's the kind of man the world respects. That's the kind of man people follow. That's the kind of man who changes his life. So the next time you catch yourself saying, "It's not my fault," stop immediately. Pause, take a breath. Look at the situation honestly and ask yourself, what part of this can I control? What lesson can I claim? What action can I take today, right now, this moment? That's how Stoic warriors think. They don't waste breath on blame. They don't waste energy on excuses. They build solutions in silence. They take action while others complain. Remember this clearly. Every excuse you make today becomes the chain you wear tomorrow. Every time you say, "It's not my fault," you give away a piece of your power. And every moment you take full responsibility, even for what wasn't entirely your fault, even for circumstances beyond your control, you forge a piece of armor around your soul. You build strength in your character. You reclaim your power. The world doesn't respect the man who complains. It doesn't admire the man who makes excuses. It doesn't follow the man who blames. It respects the man who owns his story, rewrites it, and walks forward without bitterness, without resentment, without excuses. Look at any leader you truly respect. They don't blame their circumstances. They don't point fingers at their past. They take what life gives them and build something from it. They transform pain into purpose. They convert obstacles into opportunities. They turn setbacks into comebacks. That's the power of responsibility. That's the freedom of ownership. That's the strength of saying, "This is mine. I own it. I'll handle it. I'll fix it. I'll grow from it." So drop the words, "It's not my fault." Replace them with 5 stronger ones. "I take responsibility for everything." That's not weakness. That's not being a doormat. That's sovereignty. That's power. That's freedom. Thing 3, I don't care what anyone thinks. I don't care what anyone thinks. The favorite mask of the insecure. It sounds powerful, doesn't it? Like defiance, like independence, like freedom. But look closer. Listen more carefully. It's rarely spoken by a truly free man. It's spoken by a man who's already been judged, already been hurt, already been rejected, and now builds armor out of apathy. He says it to convince himself he's above the opinions that secretly rule his entire life. The truth is, the louder he says it, the more he still cares. The more he protests, the more he's affected. Because indifference isn't strength when it's born from bitterness. It's just pain pretending to be pride. It's just hurt disguised as toughness. The Stoics never taught us to stop caring about people's opinions. They taught us to care wisely, to filter intelligently, to choose carefully which voices matter. Marcus Aurelius never said, ignore the world. He said, if it's not right, don't do it. If it's not true, don't say it. That's the Stoic balance. You don't reject feedback. You filter it. You don't silence every voice. You choose which ones enter your mind. You don't stop caring. You care selectively, you care wisely, you care about what truly matters. A fool thinks freedom means rebellion, means doing whatever he wants, means ignoring everyone. A Stoic knows freedom means self-control, means choosing his response, means mastering his reactions. Because the moment you need to prove you don't care, the moment you need to announce it loudly, you've already given those opinions power over you. The wise man simply acts with virtue and lets his results speak in silence. He doesn't need to declare his independence. He lives it. Think about it honestly. If someone's judgment can shatter your peace, if someone's opinion can ruin your day, if someone's criticism can send you spiraling, it's not their opinion that's powerful. It's your attachment to it. It's your need for their approval. It's your fear of their rejection. The Stoic man learns to draw that boundary. He asks himself, is this within my control? If not, he releases it. He lets it go. He doesn't fight it. He doesn't resist it. He simply acknowledges it and moves on. Because real strength is quiet. It doesn't need slogans. It doesn't need to announce itself. It doesn't post quotes about not caring. It just moves with purpose, with clarity, with direction. The fool reacts to every opinion. The Stoic responds to what matters. The fool speaks to be seen, to be noticed, to be validated. The Stoic acts to be remembered, to create value, to make impact. There's a difference between caring and craving approval. Caring builds connection. Caring builds relationships. Caring builds community. Craving destroys self-respect. Craving makes you weak. Craving makes you dependent. In truth, the goal is not to stop caring. It's to care selectively. Care about your integrity, your word, your actions, your principles, your character. Care about becoming someone you would admire, someone you would respect, even if no one else ever notices, even if no one else ever knows. Because the man who tries to please everyone loses himself in the process. He becomes a chameleon, changing colors constantly, never knowing who he really is. But the man who lives by virtue, who lives by principles, who lives by values, earns respect without asking for it, gains admiration without seeking it, builds influence without chasing it. That's the paradox. When you no longer chase validation, when you no longer need approval, people begin to trust you. They sense your authenticity. They feel your groundedness. When you stop shouting, "I don't care," your silence starts speaking for you. Your actions start proving it. Your results start showing it. So don't be fooled by the noise. I don't care what anyone thinks isn't power. It's a confession of exhaustion, of defeat, of giving up. True power is when you could care, but choose not to let it rule you. When you can hear criticism without being destroyed. When you can receive praise without being inflated. When you stand tall, grounded in who you are, guided by what's right, not what's popular, not what's easy, not what gets applause. That's what the Stoics called tranquility, a calm unshaken by praise or blame, by success or failure, by approval or rejection. Live like that, and you won't need to say the words at all. The world will already see it clearly in the way you move, in the way you speak, in the way you handle both victory and defeat. The truly confident man doesn't announce his confidence. The truly strong man doesn't flex his strength. The truly wise man doesn't broadcast his wisdom. They simply live it. They embody it. They demonstrate it through consistent action. And people notice, not because they're loud, but because they're real. Not because they demand attention, but because they command respect. This is the difference between performing confidence and possessing it, between faking strength and building it, between talking about wisdom and living it. Thing 4, that's just how I am. That's just how I am. It sounds harmless, almost innocent, but behind those 5 words hides the death of all personal growth. It's the anthem of the man who has stopped evolving. The confession of someone who's chosen comfort over character, stagnation over growth, the familiar over the transformative. Every time he says it, he builds a prison, a neat, cozy little cell called identity. He decorates it with excuses, furnishes it with justifications, and calls it authenticity. But that's not authenticity. That's surrender. That's giving up. That's accepting mediocrity as destiny. Because the truth is, no man is born fixed. We are fluid, shifting, constantly changing, sculpted by discipline or decay, shaped by effort or entropy. To say, that's just how I am, is to admit, I refuse to change. I refuse to grow. I refuse to become better. And nothing rots the soul faster than the pride of staying the same while pretending it's strength, while calling it authenticity, while defending it as identity. The Stoics saw this weakness long before modern psychology gave it a name. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That power over your mind means you are not bound by what you were yesterday. You're not trapped by your past. You're not limited by your history. You can rewrite your temperament, your habits, your reactions, your character. The Stoics didn't excuse themselves with, "That's how I am." They trained themselves out of it. They worked on themselves daily. They challenged themselves constantly. Epictetus was born a slave, beaten, crippled, owned by another man. Yet he rose to become one of history's greatest teachers, a philosopher whose words still echo today. Seneca was exiled, accused, betrayed, stripped of everything. Yet he used solitude to strengthen his soul, to deepen his wisdom, to refine his character. They didn't cling to labels. They broke them. They transcended them. They refused to be defined by them. The foolish man says, "I'm just impatient. That's who I am." The wise man says, "Then I must learn patience. That's who I'll become." The fool says, "I'm just emotional. I can't help it." The wise says, "Then I'll master my emotions. I'll train myself." Stoicism isn't about denying who you are. It's about proving who you can become. It's about refusing to accept limits. It's about constant transformation. In the modern world, people worship personality tests and zodiac signs more than effort. They say, I'm a Leo, I'm impulsive, I can't change. Or, I'm introverted, I can't speak up, it's just my nature. Or, I'm a type A, I'm always stressed, that's just me. As if the stars or letters or categories could dictate your destiny. But you are not your type. You are not your label. You are not your category. You are your training. You are your choices. You are your daily habits. Every time you act differently from your pattern, you weaken its grip. Every time you choose against your default, you rewrite the script. You evolve. You transform. You become. The Stoic warrior doesn't say, that's just how I am. He says, that's who I used to be. Because he knows change isn't betrayal. Change isn't fake. Change isn't losing yourself. It's refinement. It's growth. It's becoming who you're meant to be. The oak tree doesn't apologize for outgrowing its seed. The caterpillar doesn't apologize for becoming the butterfly. The child doesn't apologize for becoming the man. Growth is not arrogance. Growth is not betrayal. Growth is a duty. So next time you hear your mind whisper, that's just how I am, pause, stop. Ask yourself honestly, is that who I want to be or just who I've been too lazy to outgrow? Is this my identity or just my comfort zone? Is this my nature or just my habit? The Stoics taught that your habits shape your fate, and every moment is a chance to reforge your character. Maybe you're impatient, so you practice stillness. You practice waiting. You practice breathing. Maybe you're reactive, so you breathe before speaking. You pause before responding. You think before acting. Maybe you're selfish, so you give when it's inconvenient. You serve when it's hard. You sacrifice when it costs. That's how warriors are built. One small act of rebellion against your weaker nature at a time. One choice against your default at a time. One moment of discipline at a time. Stop using your personality as a cage. Stop hiding behind your identity. Stop defending your limitations. Use it as a forge. Burn away the parts that keep you fragile. Hammer out the weaknesses. Sharpen the strengths. Refuse to hide behind, that's just how I am. Replace it with, I'm becoming better than I was. I'm evolving daily. I'm transforming constantly. Because the Stoic truth is this, who you are is not a sentence. It's not fixed. It's not permanent. It's a decision rewritten every single day by the choices you make, the actions you take, the person you become. Your identity is not your prison. It's your canvas. You're the artist. You hold the brush. Every day you paint a new stroke. Every choice adds a new color. Every action creates a new shape. And at the end of your life, people won't remember who you said you were. They'll remember who you became. They'll remember what you did. They'll remember how you made them feel. So stop defending your limitations. Start building your potential. Stop explaining your weaknesses. Start developing your strengths. Stop hiding behind your identity. Start creating your legacy. Thing 5, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. The most expensive sentence in a man's life. It costs dreams, discipline, respect, relationships, and time. The one thing he can never earn back, never recover, never replace. Every fool believes there will always be more time. He lives as if he's immortal. He says, I'll start next week. I'll fix myself soon. I'll be serious after this season. I'll begin when I'm ready. I'll change when it's convenient. And soon becomes someday. Someday becomes never. Never becomes regret. The Stoics call this the greatest illusion of mankind, that we think we have time to waste. Seneca wrote, "While we delay, life speeds by." Every time you say, "I'll do it later," you hand another piece of your potential to the grave. You surrender another opportunity to mediocrity. You trade your future for temporary comfort. Procrastination doesn't look dangerous. It doesn't appear threatening. It looks comfortable. It looks reasonable. It hides under the illusion of control. I could do it now, but I'll choose later. I'm in control. I'm deciding to wait. That's what the fool tells himself. But later is a liar. Later is a thief. Later doesn't exist. It's a ghost that lives in the mouth of weak men, a phantom that haunts the minds of the undisciplined. Because later demands action, it promises comfort, and comfort is the silent killer of greatness, the invisible enemy of achievement, the subtle destroyer of dreams. The Stoic man knows that action is always the cure. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do what nature demands. Get up now. Stop letting your mind play with you." The Stoic doesn't wait to feel ready. He doesn't wait for motivation. He doesn't wait for the perfect moment. He acts to become ready. He moves to create momentum. He starts to build confidence. He understands that momentum, not motivation, is what builds power. Motivation is fleeting. Momentum is lasting. Motivation comes and goes. Momentum compounds daily. Think of how many men talk about their goals, their plans, their dreams, their someday. They make vision boards, talk about discipline, buy books they never read, join gyms they never visit, start projects they never finish. But they never take the first small, unglamorous step. Because talking feels like progress. It gives a small hit of pride, a temporary sense of accomplishment, a false sense of movement. But talking isn't doing. Planning isn't changing. Intending isn't achieving. Every day they repeat, "I'll do it later." And every day the gap widens between who they are and who they could have been, between what they have and what they could have achieved, between the life they live and the life they could have created. The Stoics saw this as a form of self-betrayal, knowing what's right but refusing to do it, seeing the path but refusing to walk it, understanding the truth but refusing to live it. To them, the enemy was not failure. Failure is a teacher. The enemy was hesitation. Hesitation is a killer. Here's the truth. The man who waits for the perfect moment will die waiting. There is no perfect time. There is no ideal moment. There is no flawless opportunity. Only this time. Only this moment. Only now. The Stoic warrior knows that every second is a battlefield. When the mind says later, he answers now. When comfort calls, he chooses discipline. When ease beckons, he embraces difficulty. Because now is where strength is forged. Now is the only weapon that kills procrastination. Now is the only moment that creates change. Every rep in the gym, every hard conversation, every small action taken immediately, every uncomfortable step, that's how a man rebuilds his will. That's how character is forged. That's how greatness is built. Seneca called it voluntary hardship. Doing what's difficult on purpose to stay sharp, to build resilience, to strengthen character. It's not punishment, it's training. It's not suffering, it's preparation. So here's your challenge. Think of one thing you've been postponing, one thing you've been putting off, one thing you know you should do, and do it today. Not tomorrow, not this weekend, not next week. Today, right now, this moment, message that person, start that project, clean that room, take that first rep, write that first page, make that first call. Not because it's easy, but because your future self deserves action, not excuses, not intentions, not plans. The Stoics didn't believe in later. They believed in living as if every day were their last, because one day it will be. One day later will never come. The fool says, "I'll do it later." The wise man whispers, "If not now, when? If not me, who? If not this, what?" Remember, hesitation kills more dreams than failure ever could. The world doesn't wait. Life doesn't pause. Opportunities don't linger. Every moment you delay is a moment you surrender to weakness. Every day you postpone is a day you lose forever. So stop saying, "I'll do it later." Say, "I'll do it now, before later buries me, before time runs out, before regret sets in." Because regret is the heaviest burden a man can carry. It's heavier than failure. It's heavier than rejection. It's heavier than pain. Because regret whispers, "You had the chance. You knew what to do. But you chose comfort over courage. You chose ease over excellence. You chose later over now." And that whisper never stops. It echoes in your quiet moments. It haunts your sleepless nights. It reminds you of the life you could have lived, the person you could have become, the impact you could have made. Don't let later steal your life. Don't let procrastination rob your potential. Don't let hesitation kill your dreams. Act now. Move now. Start now. If these lessons are hitting home, if you're feeling the weight of truth, if you're recognizing yourself in these words, make sure you're subscribed so you never miss the next dose of wisdom. This channel is your daily training ground for Stoic strength. Drop a comment with the phrase that hit you hardest, the one that exposed your weakness, the one that challenged your thinking. Let's keep going. We're more than halfway through, and the next lessons are just as powerful. Thing 6, nobody respects me. Nobody respects me. Those words sound like pain, like victimhood, like helplessness. But beneath them often hides a confession. I haven't been respecting myself. Most men don't lose respect overnight. It doesn't vanish in one moment. They give it away in small, quiet trades. Every time they break a promise to themselves, every time they tolerate disrespect and call it peace, every time they chase validation instead of mastery, every time they compromise their standards for approval. Respect is never lost by accident. It's surrendered one compromise at a time, one broken promise at a time, one lowered standard at a time, and then one day they look around and realize no one listens. No one values their words. No one takes them seriously. No one asks their opinion. But the Stoics would tell you respect isn't something you beg for. It's not something you demand. It's not something you argue for. It's something you radiate. It's something you earn. It's something you embody. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one." That's the key. You don't demand respect. You embody it. You don't chase it. You earn it through consistency, through integrity, through the way you hold yourself when no one's watching. The fool complains that people don't respect him while living in ways that invite disrespect. He lies, cuts corners, gossips, loses his temper, breaks his word, compromises his values, and then wonders why no one sees him as strong. But the Stoic man understands that the world mirrors your inner discipline. If you speak truth, act with clarity, and control your emotions, people can feel it. They may not say it, but they sense it. They may not acknowledge it, but they know it. Respect is gravity. It pulls people toward those who live with order, with discipline, with integrity. The modern world teaches men to chase attention instead of respect. They post louder, brag harder, and fake confidence to impress strangers who don't care. But attention is cheap. Respect is sacred. You can buy attention with money, with controversy, with shock value. You have to become respected. You have to earn it through character. The Stoic path begins with silence, with restraint, with self-mastery. Master yourself before you ever try to influence others, because the man who controls his emotions controls the entire interaction. Think about it. When you lose your temper, you hand someone else the steering wheel of your mind. When you complain, you shrink in everyone's eyes. When you react, you expose where you can be controlled. The Stoic doesn't react, he responds. He doesn't explode, he reflects. He doesn't defend, he demonstrates. That's why people listen when he finally speaks. His words are earned, not spilled. His opinions are valued, not ignored. The truth is, respect doesn't start when others recognize you. It starts the moment you stop betraying yourself. When you wake up and do what you said you'd do. When you speak less and deliver more. When you stop negotiating your standards for approval. When you keep your word even when it costs you. Self-respect is the foundation. External respect is just the echo. And the echo always comes later. Seneca said, "He who despises himself is despised by others." So if nobody respects you right now, that's not a curse. It's not permanent. It's feedback. Life is reflecting back what you've been allowing, tolerating, and avoiding. Start with the smallest act of dignity today. Keep your word even when no one will notice. End a toxic conversation instead of explaining yourself. Walk away from gossip instead of participating. Speak the truth quietly instead of lying loudly. Finish what you start instead of quitting halfway. These small invisible moments build your invisible reputation. Over time, they turn into a presence that commands respect without noise, without effort, without begging. Respect compounds. Like interest in a bank, it grows slowly but powerfully. Every kept promise adds to it. Every honest word strengthens it. Every disciplined action multiplies it. And one day you wake up and realize people listen when you speak. They value your opinion. They seek your guidance. They trust your word. Not because you demanded it, but because you earned it. Not because you chased it, but because you built it. So never again say, "Nobody respects me." Instead say, "I am rebuilding my respect one choice at a time. I am earning it back through action. I am becoming someone worthy of respect." Because the Stoic truth is simple. Respect isn't given or taken, it's reflected. When you respect yourself deeply enough, when you honor your own word, when you live by your own standards, the world will have no choice but to follow your lead. Thing 7. Life is unfair. Life is unfair. Those words taste bitter, and every weak man repeats them like a prayer, like a mantra, like an excuse. He says them when he's passed over, betrayed, ignored, or broken. He says them to justify his pain, to explain his failure, to excuse his inaction. But the Stoics would look him in the eye and say, "Of course it's unfair. It's supposed to be." Life was never designed to be balanced. It was never meant to be equal. It was designed to reveal you, to test you, to forge you. The universe doesn't hand out equal chances. It doesn't distribute fair opportunities. It hands out tests, challenges, obstacles. And those who use injustice as fuel will rise, while those who use it as an excuse will rot in their own resentment, bitterness, victimhood. Seneca wrote, "Fire tests gold, adversity tests the brave." The Stoics didn't whine about fairness. They didn't complain about injustice. They trained for adversity. They prepared for hardship. They expected difficulty. Marcus Aurelius lost his wife, his children, faced betrayal from friends, plague that killed millions, war that lasted years and still ruled with calm and mercy. Because he understood this. Fairness is not about what happens to you, it's about how you respond. The fool believes life owes him comfort, owes him ease, owes him success. The Stoic knows life owes him nothing, and that's exactly why he's free. Once you stop expecting fairness, once you stop demanding justice, every difficulty becomes a gym for your spirit. Every setback a new weight to lift. Every insult a test of your composure. Every betrayal a lesson in detachment. You either get bitter or you get better, but you can't be both. Think about it honestly. If everything were fair, you would never grow. You would never be tested, never discover what you're made of, never develop real strength. It's the unfairness of life that sharpens you, the missed opportunities that force you to create your own, the rejection that teaches you self-respect, the heartbreak that shows you what real love requires, the failure that reveals what success demands. Fairness is comfortable mediocrity. Unfairness is where strength is born. That's why the Stoics didn't pray for easy days. They didn't ask for smooth paths. They prayed for the strength to handle hard ones. The fool curses the storm. The Stoic learns to dance with it. Because every storm reveals your discipline, your patience, your courage, your character. And if you fail, good. Life just found your weak spot. Now you know what to train. Now you know where to improve. Modern society has taught people to equate suffering with injustice. We post, we vent, we blame, we complain, as if naming the unfairness will erase it. But pain doesn't disappear because you complain about it. It disappears because you outgrow it, you transcend it, you transform it. The Stoic doesn't seek revenge or pity. He doesn't want sympathy or comfort. He seeks mastery. He seeks growth. He seeks strength. He asks, what is this moment trying to teach me? What is this pain trying to show me? What is this difficulty trying to forge in me? And in that question, he reclaims control. No one can make life fair, but you can make yourself formidable. You can become the kind of man who turns every disadvantage into discipline, the kind who doesn't waste energy on what's not fair, but focuses entirely on what's within reach. So when life hits you, and it will, don't whine, don't explain, don't look for sympathy, look for the lesson. Every betrayal is training for detachment. Every setback is training for endurance. Every unfair moment is a mirror reflecting the strength you still lack. The man who complains about unfairness stays stuck. The man who learns from unfairness grows stronger. The man who uses unfairness as fuel becomes unstoppable. Which man will you be? The victim or the victor? The complainer or the conqueror? The one who blames or the one who builds? Instead of saying, life is unfair, say life is testing me and I'm ready. I'm prepared, I'm strong enough. And if you're not strong enough yet, say, I'm becoming strong enough. I'm training, I'm preparing, I'm growing. Because strength isn't something you're born with. It's something you build through adversity. It's forged in the fire of unfairness. It's tempered by the hammer of hardship. Every challenge is a chance to build it. Every unfair moment is an opportunity to strengthen it. Because the Stoic truth is simple. The world doesn't need to be fair for you to be great. It just needs you to stay disciplined, calm, and unbreakable. No matter what cards you're dealt, remember fairness is not the path to peace. Acceptance is, stop fighting for a perfect world. Build a perfect response. That's how a man becomes untouchable. That's how a warrior is born. A foolish man speaks to defend his ego. A wise man speaks to develop his mind. And in the end, your words will reveal who you truly are. Your fears, your pride, your discipline, or your lack of it. The fool says, I already know. The Stoic says, teach me. The fool blames the world. The Stoic owns his choices. The fool speaks to impress. The Stoic speaks to express truth. The fool hides behind excuses. The Stoic stands on principles. The fool seeks validation. The Stoic builds character. The fool waits for perfect conditions. The Stoic creates his own opportunities. The fool complains about unfairness. The Stoic trains through adversity. This is the difference between boys and men, between weakness and strength, between victims and victors, respect, power, peace. They don't come from loudness, but from alignment. When your words match your actions, and your actions match your principles, that's when you become untouchable. That's when you become the man others look up to. That's when you become the example others follow. That's when you become the leader others need. So from this day forward, watch your tongue like a warrior watches his sword. Guard it carefully, wield it wisely, use it sparingly, speak less, mean more, and let your silence carry the weight of 1,000 wise men. Because in a world full of noise, silence is power. In a world full of talkers, listeners are rare. In a world full of opinions, wisdom is precious. The 7 phrases we've covered today are traps that weak men fall into daily. I already know that, closes your mind. It's not my fault, surrenders your power. I don't care what anyone thinks, reveals your pain. That's just how I am, stops your growth. I'll do it later, steals your time. Nobody respects me, reflects your self-betrayal. Life is unfair, keeps you stuck. But you now know the Stoic replacements. You now have the tools to transform your speech, your thinking, your life. The question is, will you use them? Will you catch yourself before these phrases escape your lips? Will you choose wisdom over weakness? Will you choose growth over comfort? The Stoics believe that philosophy is not just theory, it's practice, it's daily action, it's constant vigilance. So practice these replacements today. Catch yourself when you slip, correct yourself when you fall. And slowly, day by day, you'll become the man who speaks with wisdom, acts with integrity, and lives with purpose. Comment below, I speak with wisdom. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, the tongue reveals the mind. Your words are your power. Use them wisely.